Malay race. A social construct. E.c. What really is the Malay race? ChatGPT. The term, Malay race, is a controversial concept that has been used historically to describe a supposed ethnic group or race of people originating from the Malay archipelago, which includes Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapore, and the Philippines. However, the concept of a Malay race is now widely considered to be a social construct rather than a scientifically valid concept. There is significant diversity among the peoples of the Malay archipelago in terms of language, culture, and physical characteristics. In fact, the region is home to hundreds of distinct ethnic groups with their own unique histories, languages, and cultural practices. The term, Malay, is often used today to describe people who speak the Malay language, which is the national language of Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei. However, this does not necessarily imply a common genetic or cultural ancestry among these groups. In short, the idea of a Malay race is a complex and contested concept that has been used in different ways throughout history. However, it is now widely recognized that human diversity is much more complex and multifaceted than any single concept of race can capture. E.c. What is Malay? ChatGPT. Malay is a term that can have multiple meanings depending on the context in which it is used. In terms of ethnicity, Malay typically refers to a group of people who are native to the Malay archipelago, which includes Malaysia, Indonesia, Brunei, Singapore, and the Philippines. The Malay people have a distinct culture, language, and history, and are considered one of the major ethnic groups in Southeast Asia. The Malay language is also referred to as Bahasa Melayu, or Bahasa Malaysia, and is the national language of Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia. It is also widely spoken in Singapore and parts of Thailand. In addition to ethnicity and language, Malay can also refer to various other aspects of the Malay archipelago, such as the Malay Peninsula, which is the southernmost part of mainland Southeast Asia and is home to several countries including Malaysia and Singapore. Overall, the term, Malay, is a complex and multifaceted concept that can have different meanings depending on the context in which it is used. E.c. If father was Indian, married a Muslim Malay lady, he becomes Muslim. Has a son whom of course is Muslim, is the son considered a Malay? ChatGPT. The ethnicity of an individual is typically determined by their ancestry and cultural heritage. In the scenario you described, the son would have a mixed ancestry with Indian and Malay roots. However, whether or not the son is considered Malay would depend on a number of factors, including the cultural and social context in which he lives, as well as his personal identification with the Malay culture and community. In Malaysia, for example, there are specific legal definitions of who is considered Malay for the purpose of affirmative action policies and other government programs. These definitions typically take into account factors such as ancestry, language, and religion, and may vary depending on the specific context. However, it's important to note that ethnicity is a complex and fluid concept that can be influenced by a wide range of factors, including individual identity, cultural practices, and social perceptions. Ultimately, the son's ethnicity and cultural identity would be determined by a combination of factors, including his family history, cultural upbringing, and personal experiences. E.c. That means Malay is not really or truly a race per se. ChatGPT. Yes, that's correct. The term, Malay, is not considered a race in the biological or genetic sense, but rather a term that is used to describe a cultural and linguistic group of people who are native to the Malay archipelago. Ethnicity is a complex and multifaceted concept that is influenced by a wide range of factors, including ancestry, language, culture, and social context. The term, Malay, is often used to describe people who identify with the Malay culture and community, but it does not necessarily imply a common genetic or biological ancestry among these groups.